Hello.
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 Can you hear me? Wow, it's been a while, dude.
Yes, it has.
From across all corners of our fair planet Earth, welcome to the Gaming Cult Podcast. Worldwide opinions on obscure and up-to-date gaming talk culture and geekery for today and yesteryear. You love it, my boy.
My boy.
Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Gaming Cult Podcast. I'm your host, Jake Innes, from cloudy, overcast Melbourne, Australia.
Hey, Jake. Let
Yes.
me do the intro for once, please.
Okay.
Hello, viewers. My name is Martin, and I am from Sweden. It's been quite a while, but as of today, I am the co-host of the Gaming Cult Podcast. And today with me, I have Jake Innes from sunny and hot Australia. Hello, Jake.
Hello, Martin. I'm good. Martin, how are you?
I'm quite fine, thanks. Good, yeah.
It's not hot, though. It's actually getting quite cold. I'm in Melbourne now.
Yeah, that's right. You're like almost on the bridge of winter, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah. Well, at least I suppose it's like a lot hotter than it is in Sweden anyway. So.
Oh yeah, well it's always hotter than the stormy Kveldlands of Kaldlands. What's cold? What's cold in Swedish?
Cal.
Yeah, the Kaldlands. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that works.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
If you don't recognize the voice of this man, viewers, then you haven't been listening to Gaming Cult Podcast very long. Martin, I've missed you and I've missed your voice.
Yeah, I missed you too, and I missed all you guys pretty much, all the viewers and all the main cast that's been on the podcast for all these years.
And the funny thing is that the other boys and girls don't even know that we're recording this right now.
Okay, so we're actually like doing it in secret, are we?
This is going to be a complete surprise to everybody, and I can already kind of anticipate like people's face, not just our sweet GCP boys and girls who are part of that lovely cast, but all the viewers at home as well, who are going to be they're going to be quite happy now to hear what we're doing. To hear what we're doing right now.
I certainly hope so. I know a couple of the viewers have been like following me on some sort of like social medias and stuff while I've been out of the loop, so to speak. So I think they'd be very pleased to hear my voice for the first time in a very long time.
Martin, welcome back to the Gaming Cult Podcast.
Thank you, Jake.
your original home.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, it's, like looking back, wow, when we just start this podcast again? It's like New Year's Eve.
We recorded the first episode on New Year's Eve 2011.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really that long ago.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, this is Martin from Sweden. Martin and I started the Gaming Cult Podcast, but I'm sure like most of you know that. And then Martin went away, and Martin's been on an adventure, and now Martin's back. How have you been, Martin?
I've been pretty good, thank you. I've been busy, that's for sure, but
You've been learning Japanese.
I have,
among
and I
other
still
things.
am. Yes, absolutely.
How is your Japanese? Can you say hello in Japanese?
No, that's way too advanced for my level. Like, okay. I've been studying it like non-stop for 3 years, but coming to the level where you can actually say hello in Japanese, that's some deep shit, man.
Absolutely.
That's when you can actually speak the language like fluently. So.
Well, Martin, my friend, I love you so much. I hope one day you can learn to greet these people in not only your native tongue, but also a foreign tongue. And I'm not talking about English, I'm talking about Japanese, because that's what you're learning, Martin. Thank you, Martin.
It is. Thank you.
Martin, this is a video game podcast.
It is, yeah. I've heard, at least. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's still really not. It's like you've been gone for a year, but it's still really not.
Okay, yeah.
But, what were we thinking when we first started Gaming Cult? I mean, we were both, like, hardcore... Let's take everyone back for a while, because, we haven't talked about this for a really long time. So let's take we're back at the beginning. So let's take it back to the beginning.
Absolutely.
I mean, when we've known each other for quite a few years through music and other things, and through being being collectors, being video game collectors. I'm not so much a hardcore collector these days, but back in 2011, like, we were both hardcore, like, Japanese import and, like, obscure video game collectors.
Absolutely. And I need to, like, also add that, like, right before we started the Gaming Cult podcast, I hadn't really, like, sat down and played a video game, like, properly for at least a year or so before, I think. Just, like, you know, only sticking to actually buying the games rather than playing them, like, at all. So.
And that sounds so ridiculous, but that's what a lot of hardcore collectors end up doing. And I know that's how I was for quite a while as well. Like, you get into this sort of mindset of it's just this collecting thing, and whether you're collecting records as well or whatever else, antiques, whatever it might be, and like. It's I don't know if it's a void filling thing or whatever it might be, but you know, it's a hobby as well. And I mean, I got to a point about a year ago where I stopped collecting. Well, not a year ago, let's say just shy of a year, where I was like, I haven't played 80% of these games that I've bought. So I actually sold some of my rarest games before I moved to Melbourne. I sold a lot of my rare Neo Geo AES games and a lot of other ones.
Wow.
But we're jumping ahead of ourselves here. Let's keep it back in time for a bit.
Absolutely.
We were two sweet boys that liked those video games, and
we did.
We liked Shenmue. And we liked Baten Kaitos.
Yeah.
And Baten Kaitos Origins, and we basically spent the first 2 or 3 episodes of the Game Cult podcast talking about those games.
We did, yeah.
I've actually got a copy of Baten Kaitos Origins, and
wow, after all these years,
and it's still sealed.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
And I mean, I'm not a sealed games collector. I've never have been, and I used to be whatever about taking games out of the seal. I wouldn't do it and whatever, but I don't care anymore. But yeah, I've still not taken that game out of its wrapper. I still have a CRT TV. I still have my GameCube with you know, RGB cabling and everything, making it look real nice. And yeah, one day I'm going to sit down and actually play Baten Kaitos Origins, the game that we talked about at length for back in like episode 2 or episode 3, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's like, you know, throughout all these years, it's been like that one game that I've been keep coming back to, you know, in terms of like telling people to sit down, get the game if they can, and, you know, play it through because it's a really good game.
And, like, it's so hard to do that as well because it is an obscure game. It's an obscure game on top of an obscure game. I mean, Baten Kaitos was a great JRPG that came out for the GameCube. And we'll just leave a little bit of silence there. Because, yes, it was a good RPG on the GameCube. And not only that, but that was a great game, but there was also a prequel sequel. It was a sequel. It came out after, but it was actually a prequel, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
And it didn't come out in Europe and Australia. It only came out in Japan and the States.
Yep.
In North America, rather. And yeah, that was it. And it was right at the end of the GameCube's life cycle. And I mean, do we say anything? Tell people a little bit about that game.
Well, what is there to tell? I mean, it's been like, wow.
it's even describing it's obscure because it's like a card-based, like card battle-based JRPG, but not the cards. The cards are only like a tool of battle at the same time.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, like, it's not a unique form of RPG in that sense, but and I'm not too big of like card-based games myself at all, but what kept me going with Baten Kaitos, so it's obviously like the story and the characters, and also the music, which is composed by Motoi Sakuraba, which also did like he's done a lot of stuff for like the Tale series, whatnot. He's been like closely associated with Namco Bandai rather, all over the years. So
fantastic soundtrack.
Definitely. That's what kept me going, pretty much.
Pre-rendered backgrounds as well. They kept those around in the prequel as well.
They did, yes.
This is a game that we brought up on one of our first episodes. I think the first, like on episode 2, I think we talked about it, or 3, and we talked about that at length. And what else? I think we talked about Shenmue a lot, which is collectively pretty much one of our favorite games of all time, if not like up there in the top 3 of our favorite games of all time.
Definitely.
I mean, what are your favorite games of all time? It's been 3 years since we've talked about this. You know?
Yeah,
it's like, why not? Let's go back through it again.
Sure, but I still think, in a sense, that my top list, if you will, haven't really changed that much, despite maybe occasionally playing a game every once in a while. What would my top 3 games of all time be?
Doesn't even have to be in order.
No, it's not in any specific order or anything, but like Final Fantasy X, Chrono Trigger, and probably Shenmue. Yeah. Wow. And when I say Shenmue, I obviously mean like both of the games like combined into one, because they like belong together in a weird way. So.
Yep, I mean, shouts out to Eric. He still doesn't like that game. I'm not sure if he's played it or not, even. No, actually, he didn't like it. He played it. Garrett has
I don't like him, so, it's totally cool.
Shouts out to our sweet boy Eric. Garrett still never played it. When I was over there in San Diego back in October, I tried to find a copy for our sweet boy, but I couldn't. So I got him a copy of Parasite Eve instead, which he played on the Poorly Played stream just recently, actually, viewers, if you caught that. The Mega 64, Garrett's Poorly Played stream, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/Mega64 podcast. They've just booted up their they've just started up their Mega 64 TV 24-hour live streaming service on that Twitch channel as well. So go check that out. It's fantastic. I've actually been binge viewing that for like the last couple of days. It's been fantastic. Just
great.
All their videos from over the last 10 years. So if you're not on that already, go get on that, viewers. Yeah. Well, my favorite 3 games. I mean, there's always ones that I'm going to forget, but the ones that always come to mind are Super Mario 64, Shenmue series, and Puzzle Bobble series.
Puzzle Bobble, huh?
Yeah.
In a way, I can definitely like see that it would be on someone's top 3 list, because it's been a pretty influential game for a lot of us in some way or other.
Absolutely, aka Bust a Move, of course.
Yeah, precisely.
Wow, we're actually talking about games. We've brought it so full circle. We've gone all the way back to New Year's Eve 2011.
Yes, we have.
I mean, let's talk a bit about. I mean, we spent probably a good portion of 2011 trying to get Gaming Cult podcast happening. And I remember we were even going to have originally a 3rd member who wasn't one of our current roster, who was this collector. He was like a US immigrant living in Japan, and he had like a collector channel, and that's about it. I mean, we can't say much more than that, but that's he was a hardcore collector, and if we'd had him on the show, the show could have very well gone in a completely different direction. Imagine what direction that show could have gone on if we'd had another like 3rd hardcore Japanese collector on the show and never got the Mega 64. Like, we never got Garrett and Eric and Brian on. Like, it would just be, who knows if it would still be going, and it would just be a completely different show.
It would have most definitely been, yes. And in retrospect, I also believe that in some way or like form, we'd all, like, the 3 of us would be like sitting and recording, we'd be like grumpy as shit while talking, like, looking down like everything that's not within our range in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
I could definitely see that being a possibility. So.
Yeah, I mean, Gaming Cult very quickly became, in part, a comedy podcast, because not because of just having Garrett and then Eric and then Brian and Zach. Well, you know what? It was a video game geeking out podcast.
Sure.
I think until episode 10 when Zach came along. Don't you agree? I mean, like, we were still we'd still be joking around, but it would all still be quite tame, but sort of just funny base humor that I guess is whatever I just go off with my sense of humor, and we'd be bouncing off each other, you, me, and Garrett, and then Eric, but like it was really when like Zach, my sweet brother, came in to like fill in for you for like 2 episodes, at like in episode 10, that everything really, really changed, and Gaming Cult became what it is today.
Yeah, or at least he probably made or created the ground basis of what Gaming Cult Podcast is today.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So shouts out to everybody. I didn't tell you we were even recording this, and then you'll be like, "Oh, we didn't get on the new episode." But you know what?
Yeah.
You can sit and spin on it because my sweet boy Martin's here, and we're talking about them video games. It's Gaming Cult Podcast, and it's 2015.
Yeah, it is.
3 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't probably been on for how long?
Yeah,
2 years at least.
No, it's been. I would say you left probably at the start of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, officially. Yeah. Prior to that, I wasn't on a whole lot of episodes, I believe. Mostly due to the fact that school was taking up way too much time. So, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, life just gets in the way sometimes. It's why, Gaming Cult has slowed down towards the end of, 2014 and the start of 2015. It's just basically been due to me with having a lot of stuff going on in my life. And, sometimes life gets in the way, and we've got to try and, I moved, 3 times last year, and it's now early April, and I'm about to move again, and then also, but at the same time, there's heaps of positive stuff going on. I've got my music that's kicking off, and I'm about to go to a tour of Japan and Korea and the US and shit, and it's
that's amazing.
Everything. And don't think for a second, viewers, that I've forgotten about you. It's just purely from, am I able to put together an episode right now? And is us 6 other people able to put together an episode of Gaming Cult right now? And that's really just about it. It's been about being in the right headspace, and I just haven't been in the right headspace to get Gaming Cult back to 2 episodes a month. But 2015, we're gonna make it happen. Gaming Cult is coming back, and we're gonna get back to something close to that at least. And, Martin's going to be around. He might not be around all the time, but,
I'll be around as much as possible, obviously.
Catch a falling star. Put it in your pocket. Yeah. And its name is Martin from Sweden.
It is.
Martin, there's something I've been wanting to ask you for a good year now. Mm-hmm. Martin, how are you?
I am quite fine. Thank you, Jake.
You used to get really mad. You used to get really mad when I asked you that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's because I'd start off every episode with that, and it became a thing without me even realizing it. And then Martin surprised me one episode by doing a bit of just going apeshit of trying to break me unknowingly giving the same intro for a good 10 episodes.
Yeah, pretty much. I think
and that was a big part of us forming what became Gaming Cult as well, was the carry on and just the stream of consciousness that
definitely. I mean, especially one episode where I completely quotation marks freaked out and actually left the room I was sitting with the computer and stuff. So yeah, that was definitely a ground basis for what eventually became Gaming Cult in that sense too. I've been hearing bits and pieces of what you guys have been up to, and it doesn't seem like that it's that far away from what I did in that specific episode. So
well, we kept it to what you and I built it from, man. And that's what you viewers like. And we never make any conscious efforts to keep something one way or the other. It's always just completely intuitive whenever we record anything, and when I'm doing all my post-production stuff as well, it's all just completely off the cuff. I'm never trying to second guess myself with what would WWJD, what would Jake do? Was that, it's Easter Monday. Is that blasphemous to say on this day of all days?
It depends on who you ask, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts
For
out.
me personally, shouts out. No. But yeah. Anyways, getting back to all those moments where we did, or rather, where I did stuff throwing a tantrum and leaving the room. I mean, that was not planned at all. I did everything like spontaneously, completely spontaneously.
Which is how we did everything. It's how we did absolutely everything, and it's why Gaming Cult is what it is.
It is, yeah, for sure.
Martin, there's one thing that we've also been trying to wonder, and we know that the jury's been out on this in the past. But Martin, my friend, do you like video games?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah.
You're shifting a bit towards more now the video games. You say video games. I like them. They're okay. I'll play them once in a while. I open up the video game. I see it's a case. Yes. It's a disc. Yes. It's a manual. Yes.
Yeah.
I put it in my system. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it once or twice.
Martin, maybe the system wants me to update the game. Who knows?
Maybe you have an Xbox One and you haven't played anything on it for the past 6 months due to every time you turn the fucking thing on, you have to update it. Not only do you have to update the system, but then you have to update every game that's in your library, and it's on an Australian connection.
Wow.
I seriously have not, right, shouts out to Xbox Australia for being so cool to us all the time, inviting us out to everything. Shouts out to Eric and the whole team. I haven't been able to play anything on my Xbox in the past 6 months. I love Halo. I still can't get into a game of Halo Master Chief Collection. I still can't do it. I want to play D3, but I tried to go back into playing D3 after buying it for 2 months and then leaving it alone. I need to update it again. The update's about 5 gig. I can't win. Like, the last great experience I had on my Xbox One was Peggle 2 and Titanfall. And
that was like 6 months ago, or...
Oh, it was a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, I don't even own an Xbox One yet, so...
Has one come out in Japan yet?
Yes, I believe it actually has, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but, you know...
Because you used to want to be able to buy... I remember your guidelines for buying a lot of consoles were usually, can I play Japanese games on them?
Yeah, and it's, with me actually studying the language at an academic level, that's more, important now than ever, I'd say.
Your Japanese has probably gotten even better than your English now, I imagine.
Well, they're almost at the same level.
Wow.
I'd like to think, at least. I surround myself with people, outside from studying. I surround myself with people that actually speak the language as their native tongue. And we don't necessarily have, have to have, any sort of common interest in, regarding, anything. Just, the passion and the love for a language is what, connects us.
Yeah.
So I'm quite, I walk around in, circles and... Well, I live in the capital. I live in Stockholm now. Been also moving
you've moved
twice.
You've moved out of the forest.
Yes, I have.
With the wolves.
I live in the capital. Yeah.
No longer living. He's no longer a boy among wolves.
Well, actually, by the time I'm recording this, I am actually in my hometown. So I am in Värmland right now.
Oh, shouts out.
Shouts out. Yeah. But moving to Stockholm for me, personally, in terms of, personal development, in a way you could say, in very, very many areas, it has been life-changing in a certain way.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I moved to Melbourne as well, and it's why I've been semi-absent from doing this show, is that my life has just been changing. And at the same time, it's not for me personally wanting to leave this show behind. It's just I'm just trying to catch up with all the changes that are happening, and make sure that I'm still able to do everything that I want to do, which definitely includes Gaming Cult Podcast. It's our baby.
It is.
It's our young, sweet baby.
Our baby, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but carrying on the legacy, I mean, it's obviously it's something that we enjoy doing, and it's also obviously something that people enjoy listening to, so why not?
It's literally gone from 2 semi-shut-ins talking about Japanese imports to 100 people at Disneyland recognizing me.
Yeah.
In the space of 3 years.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier.
Of course not. I can definitely like imagine that. The thing is, like, in Stockholm, there's at least like a handful of events held like every month that that's monthly in a way. One of them being like a certain club dedicated toward like real properly hardcore gamers. And there's like at least like 200-300 people there every month at that certain club, and I wouldn't be surprised if at least a handful of the people attending, knew, or rather know who I am, but like haven't seen my face or whatever. So this might actually, be, if anyone's out there listening, attending that club I'm referring to, if they live in Stockholm, they know which one I'm referring to.
Any Svenska messages?
Well, yeah, sure. Let's dive into the past. Go with the Svenska sentences for sure.
The viewers want to hear it.
Of course they do. Om ni är på Syntax Error i Stockholm och hör min röst, så är ni mer än välkomna att komma fram och säga hej och göra vad fan ni vill med mig, tänkte jag säga, men så långt jag inte vill gå.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
How would you say shouts out in Svenska? Because I know shouts out is still like, it's a mispronunciation and it's a misnomer at the same time. It's literally like, so many people say shouts out. You're supposed to say shout outs, and that really it hurts my brain to try and even say that, because shouts out is literally just a nervous tick that I have.
Yeah.
Like it used to be. I think when we first started Gaming Cult, I think the first few episodes, it used to be absolutely. I would say absolutely all the time. You can go back to like the earliest episodes of Gaming Cult, and you'll pick it up. It's me saying absolutely all the time, and that eventually got replaced by shouts out, which is not how you say that at all. But now hundreds, thousands of people now say shouts out. Not just through me, but it's spread through Mega 64 as well, and it's spread through a bunch of other places. And then I start hearing like the Game Grumps saying shouts out and shit, and it's just insane,
Like have Gaming Cult podcast like been influential, in that heavily in terms of that.
Yeah, but like on the low, and people aren't able to trace it back. It just sort of spreads out like an underground seed or something. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I think we kind of created one of the first underground video game related shows. Mm-hmm. Isn't that bizarre to think of?
When you put it that way, yes, it is. Most definitely.
I mean, I'm sure it was partly helped by like forming with like the underground or independent music scene as well. Like we were the first show to make that bridge that nobody thought to, or would even. Why would someone make that bridge between like the independent underground music industry and video game like culture, I guess.
Sure.
Or people that like video games. Because like video game culture is what even is that? Is it mad nerds? Is it people who like games? Is it something about? I don't even know.
In a way, I suppose it's like all of those things formed into one.
Yeah.
It's a completely definable term in that sense that it depends on who you ask, I suppose.
Martin.
Yes.
We established that you're okay with video games.
I am okay to a certain extent, yes. I don't. I also had the bit where I did stop playing video games. I remember like really clearly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah,
it was a campaign. It was Martin's campaign of stop playing video games.
Yeah.
They'll ruin your life. They'll ruin your life. You'll bear no fruit. Do not touch those things.
No. But you get insights to some things in life at a certain time, I suppose, and I don't know. It was a whole lot of fun to just fool around with, I suppose, in a way.
Absolutely.
But getting back to video games, yes, I am indeed okay with them.
Martin, there are some games that have come out recently.
There certainly has been quite a few that's been released, yes.
Yeah. There's one in particular that I remember you were quite a fan of, but you were a fan of it when it originally came out. And this was a game that came out for the PSP. And it's a game that has now come out. A PSP game has now come out on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And this game is called Final Fantasy Type 0.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, I've actually when attending the club events held in Stockholm, I actually made a couple of friends, and also through other meeting places and whatnot. And not too long ago, I was informed by a friend that I made through these connections that it was actually had been released over here, which I didn't have any clue about whatsoever, because I'm way too busy in some terms that I can't keep track of when games are released and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember really clearly, the first thing that I asked him was because he came to a bar where he had just recently picked up the game, and we sat down and we had a few beers and whatnot.
Was it the People's Beer?
It was not the People's Beer, unfortunately.
One does not drink the People's Beer in an establishment. It is only
no, you do not.
Outside of establishment that you consume the People's Beer of 3.8% or lower.
It is. There is no other way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I instinctively asked him. The first thing that came out of my mouth when I saw that he had a copy was does it have a Japanese audio track? That was my first question when he showed me that he had the game.
The PS4 copy.
Yeah. The PS4 copy. That's right. And it was we looked at the backside of the cover, and I don't think it said that it had it or anything like that. This is a couple of weeks ago now, so I don't remember that clearly, but I didn't see it at the time, and I was if it does, you need to tell me, because I still like that game a lot. And
well, you played it when it first came out. You imported it from Japan on the PSP.
I did, yes. And I still got my copy to this day, and it's a great game, and I wouldn't mind playing it again at some point. On
a slightly bigger screen.
Yeah, on a slightly bigger screen with some slightly touched up graphics and whatnot. But I think it retails for a full-priced video game over here.
Well, it's a game that the West never got at all.
Sure.
That's the thing.
Sure.
Type 0 never came out. It never came out outside of Japan. It only came out in Japan on the PSP originally.
It did, yeah.
And it was quite a different Final Fantasy game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I think if you ask someone that actually plays the game as of today, they wouldn't be able to tell you. If they're 10 hours into the game, they still wouldn't be able to tell you what the game is about.
Wow.
Should
we leave that at that then?
Yeah, I think so.
I imagine a lot of people are just starting to play this game now.
Yeah, probably. And for good reason too. It's a great game, so...
I haven't started playing it yet, but I did play the demo for Final Fantasy 15 Episode Duske, I think it's pronounced. Or Duske. That was really good. I
haven't played that, actually.
It is a lot of fun. It comes packaged with Final Fantasy Type 0 HD.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you get a little code and you download it, basically.
Okay.
It's really good. It's like a live battle sequence, live battle system, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite different. It's set in modern day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not set in any kind of alternate. Well, it's set in an alternative universe, of course, but it's not set sort of it's not sort of hyper futuristic or
no.
It's there's cars that you drive around and caravan parks and it's interesting. I'm looking forward to playing the finished video. I took myself into a cave and got myself... I don't think I was supposed to go into that cave because they just started throwing enemies at me 20 at a time that were higher level than me, and I eventually just died. So the game has some interesting ways of keeping you within its boundaries, I think. Either that or it was just in a very high level area that people that want to try and get as much out of the demo as possible will get it. So yeah, I'm going to go back to that and try and finish that, but I think I'm going to play a bit more Type 0 first. Man, what else have I been playing? What else has come out recently? It's been a little while. It's been like a good 2 months since the last episode came out, I think. pretty much. Life is Strange came out for the PS4. This is it's an adventure game from Square Enix in the style of the Telltale adventure games, and it's really, really good. There's a great female protagonist, and several great female protagonists actually in the game, and the storytelling is fantastic. Actually, our friend Stevie B actually described it really well. It's a Telltale game, but it's a good Telltale game. And that's the best. That's a really good way to put it. In fact, I don't know. I feel really great playing this game. It has a really warm atmosphere to it, even though some of it's quite sinister and some of the story's quite sinister. There's this just overall vibe to it, which is quite unique, and I feel is missing from a lot of video games. It's some kind of X or Y factor that I can't really put my finger on right now. But the vibe of the game is very interesting. It's set in like a university, and you are a girl who eventually, quite soon, figures out that she can manipulate time. And there's some shady goings on around the university and around her friends and family and so on, and you got to figure out what's going on. And it's just this very banal but also very dramatic game, and also quite a fantastical game as well. Life is Strange on the PS4. It's episodic. Episode 2 just came out. I recommend buying up that whole season and getting amongst it. Play the first 2 episodes. I'm playing the episode 2 right now.
I definitely need to check that game out because I hadn't really heard of it up until you mentioned it. So
yeah, it's fantastic. It's for PS4 and Xbox One, I believe. I'm not sure if it's out for PC or not. You have to check Steam and get back to me, viewers. Yeah, that's one of my games of the year so far, I think. What else? They re-released Grim Fandango a couple months ago.
Yes, they did. And that got a lot of attention from, here in Sweden at least.
That was a popular one there when it came out in the 90s, was it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you play it when it came out?
No, but a couple of years later I did, yeah. And, I wouldn't say that it's, the best game of all time, which a lot of people seem to think that it is, but it's definitely a good game.
I'd agree with that, too. I feel like it's got a very outdated method of game production, where the puzzles are just so ridiculously obscure. And while they have updated the controls in a lot of places and fixed quite a few bugs from the original, like doors not opening and things like that, it's still there were a lot of parts where I had to go to GameFAQs, to get an answer, because it was just, I don't understand how anybody that didn't work on this game could solve this puzzle. Maybe I'm not that much of a lateral thinker, but some parts of it are just so obscure. And I just feel like that's a method of video game development that we've gone past now. Its level of obscurity of puzzle solving, equipped to, relatable to story, is equal to that of King's Quest V.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, that might make some sense to some of you 90s kids out there. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous ways of solving puzzles. You have this one screen to pick up a pixel large item, and you have one chance to do it. If you don't, you will not be able to finish the game. Thank you. This is 90s gaming. Welcome to the 90s PC gaming.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Martin, I don't have a musical guest for this episode. So I'm just gonna play some of my own music because fuck it, it's just us.
Yeah. Just go for it.
Here's a new DJ Innes track. Gaming Cult Podcast. Jake here. Martin's here too.
I am. Woo!
That was one of my new tracks called Hard, and that's going to be coming out on an EP very soon that I'm doing with a very well-known Chicago musician and track maker.
That's great. That's great.
And we'll let you know a little bit more about that very soon. But there's an EP coming out. There's finally a DJ and a CP coming out, and it's coming out in conjunction with a very well-known artist. And it's going to be great. It's called the T&J Project. And I think maybe late May it might be coming out. It's some tech DJ shit, look out for it. I'll play another track towards the end of the show. Martin.
Yep.
It's been a while since we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say what are your favourite video games of all time, but we were done.
God
damn it. Yeah. What's a console that we've not talked about for a while? What's been on your mind with like retro stuff? It's been a while since we just sat down and talked about like retro shit. Like, I mean, I've been wanting to get my Dreamcast out again lately, and like maybe see what I can dig out for that collection. I bought a Japanese Saturn like a good year ago, and got a bunch of games for that. That is a very unique software library, the Japanese Saturn.
There's a whole lot of strange games for that system in Japan.
Yeah, but what's been on your radar?
That's a tough question, really. You know, the way I'm living right now doesn't really allow me to have a lot of consoles up at the same time, unfortunately. So what I currently have up right now is my PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and Vita, as well as my 3DS.
Cool.
All of the other, but all of the consoles are like, unfortunately, like packed away down in the basement somewhere. By the time that this recording, at least. But like, in terms of my mind, I suppose like the console that's been like closest to hand in terms of what's been, re-released has probably been the N64 with the re-release of Majora's Mask for the 3DS.
Oh yes. How was that as far as re-releases go?
I've heard like mixed receptions of what people think concerning the game, but I think what people got most upset about was how like easy some things have become, like in terms of reaching out to new players. I mean, it's not that strange that they would like go out and make that specific game, which is like pretty hard to begin with. A bit easier.
I couldn't get very far through that game at all.
Yeah, you see. I mean, and that supposedly like ticked a lot of people off, but I wasn't expecting anything else when I bought the game. So I was pretty pleased with how they,
I think it's a lot of guys and girls. Now, I'll talk about the changes for sure, but I think it's a lot of guys and girls in their 20s and 30s that had to like sweat their way through figuring out that game. And now it's a bit of sour grapes that now the kids have like a bit more easier way of it. But there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I'm fine with
absolutely
that. That's what stopped me from being able to play too much of that game, was that game I could just not figure it out. I couldn't figure that game out.
No.
Zach is a huge lover of that game though. I'm sure he's playing the remake right now.
Yeah, but so am I. And when I have some time on my hand, to get around to play it. But as I said, like I don't see anything wrong with making changes to include newer gamers that weren't around as you and I were when that game was released. I mean, I was pretty young at the time when that was out, but I still managed to like figure out stuff like eventually. But it took some time, and it was really rewarding in a way that I suppose you don't see a lot in games that are being released today. But I suppose that whole thing with like the whole rewarding experience, if we will, like being able to eventually figure something out after like being stuck at a certain place for like 2 weeks. But like I said, I suppose the whole rewarding experience is a thing of the past, and that was more prevalent in the perhaps 80s, 90s, early 21st century games, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily see anything wrong with, as I said, including newer gamers.
No, absolutely.
I have trouble seeing what the gripe is with making some aspects of the game easier.
Homogenizing game mechanics it's a good thing in my view. Like they re-released Resident Evil again for the newer platforms. It was like a remake of the GameCube remake, and they upgraded the controls. They still left the option for tank controls, but they upgraded the controls. Like we don't live in a world where tank controls would make sense to somebody who's 15.
Absolutely not.
Like that's just the fact. You can be nostalgic for quirky, outdated game mechanics as much as you like, but like, I mean, ease of play is ease of play.
Yeah, and I also think like one of the major things that they changed with the re-release of Majora's Mask was the saving system. That you're actually able to quick save this time around, without getting rid of all of your items and stuff like that. And someone might have to correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I think I read like 10 years ago maybe that the reason that the saving system for Majora's Mask back then was so bizarre and complicated was simply due to the fact that they didn't have enough memory on the actual cartridge to make a proper saving system.
Right.
So that makes sense too as to why they would update that in a way in 2015.
Well, yeah, and the answer to that is because it is 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And
we don't have the limitations as we did 15 years ago on cartridges. We have 3DS games that are like at least 4 gigabytes big in terms of file size, whereas the largest N64 game was perhaps 64 megabytes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think we'll leave that one there, because people are still going to be up in arms about certain quirks that they like, certain retroactive quirks that they like in their video games, but it's something, I don't know. it's things change, and in a way I can definitely like understand as to why someone would have like a certain gripe with something, because I'm probably guilty of the exact same thing myself in some way or form regarding video games, but I can't think of it on the top of my head, but we're into absolute niches like fucking bullet hell shooters and things like that.
Yeah, that for example. I mean,
and SNK fighting games and things like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, times change, and you have to move with the changes. And hey, you'll get to experience some really great things because of change.
Yeah, definitely.
With video games or without video games. Martin, where do we go from here? We've actually been talking about video games. This is the most we've talked about video games for a very long time in the Gaming Cult podcast.
It is. It's quite strange, actually.
It is. We've literally. This has been an exercise of going back to like episode 2 vibes again. Really.
Definitely, and I don't think I've, in my private life, I've been discussing video games, as much as I have, for these minutes that we've done this so far.
Yeah.
As of the last 3 months or so.
But you know what? It's good.
It's good.
And
it's good. All good.
And it's good to hear your voice.
Yeah, same to you.
So I've dug through. We get sent a lot of emails to Gaming Cult Podcast, gamingcultpodcast@gmail.com. There's always going to be one or two that I miss throughout the years. Here's one that I missed. This one's from Martin Duquette. Hey, duders, if you were sentenced to death. Oh, by the way, this is viewer mail. If you were sentenced to death, what would be your last meal? And that's from Martin Duquette.
Wow.
Last meal.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about the death sentence as a thing in itself, what happens like when I speak...
Wait, this is that you're sentencing, or while you're on death row waiting for execution?
Why am I on death row?
Okay, it's not. This is not what you would eat in the hearing, because I don't think you're allowed to eat in court. If I'm mistaken.
No, that's probably right. But when people speak about being executed and all, usual topic that comes up like right on the bat is like, how would you like to be executed? Not what would your last meal be?
do we go that morbid, or do we just keep it cute with what would you like to eat?
No, absolutely not. I was, addressing the fact that, I've had, time to think through how, if if that happened to me.
I mean, would the bailiff, would the jailiffs, what the fuck? I was trying to say plaintiff, but then I said jailiff. Yeah, would the jail warden present some options for execution for you if you were on death row? I don't think you'd get an option personally.
Probably not. Depending on where you're located in the world, I mean, there's probably at least one state in the U.S. and a couple of Asian countries where you could at least get to choose how you die, I believe.
But anyway, keeping it cute. What would be your last meal?
Wow. I probably had to say as humble and easy as possible. I've been a vegetarian for most of my adult life, and also throughout my late teens. And there's always,
Would you repent at the last minute and just eat a big fucking steak?
No, absolutely not. I know that's what you were thinking of, and probably everyone out there listening. But
I mean, Anton LaVey converted to Christianity on his deathbed.
It did? Oh yeah, of course it did. But no. Anyway, I would probably be so humble, as to there is a specific dish that I personally make when I'm too lazy to make anything else, and it's basically it's like a pasta, and it's crushed tomatoes with some salad, and also with chickpeas.
Oh, very nice. Got to get your protein somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So that would probably be my last meal if I were on death row for some reason.
Hey, mine's not far off from that. It's probably my mum's tuna pasta bake.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the one thing she taught me how to cook, and along with her vegetarian lasagna, which is the best thing she makes, it's the one of the few things that I still cook, even though I can probably cook a few more things than my mum. I'm pretty lazy when it comes to cooking. So yeah, I think my mum's tuna pasta bake or her vegetarian lasagna, I think, before I was sentenced to death. It's so morbid!
It is.
Thanks, Martin Duquette. Shouts out viewers. Get those viewers. Martin, if people want to write to us, how can they write to us?
They can contact us at gamingcultpodcast@gmail.com or write on to us on Facebook, facebook.com/gamingcultpodcast, I believe.
Yes.
Is that the right one? Yeah.
That's still correct.
And what's your Twitter account?
Twitter is @GamingCultCast. We're on Instagram at Gaming Cult, and on Tumblr on Gaming Cult as well. YouTube, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We've got we're always putting out cute videos from now. I'm saying cute a lot this episode, aren't I? We're putting out a lot of videos that are only on our YouTube channel. So go check that out. Gaming Cult on YouTube.
I've actually registered a new Twitter account. I closed down my previous one when I left the Gaming Cult podcast. But I've actually registered a new one. So if people want to give me a shout out on Twitter, they're more than welcome to. My username on Twitter rather is Hymn3. That's Hymn3.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
Is that a number 3 or a word 3?
No, the actual word 3.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
Well, you know what? I think we did it, Martin.
Did we do it?
We did. You know what? I think we done did it.
We done diddly did it.
Yes, we did indeed. What else is there to say? I mean, it's good my friend. It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, same to you.
That was episode 40 something of Gaming Cult Podcast. I can't even remember. I'm just so happy that this is happening right now.
Yeah, same here.
Episode 48 of Gaming Cult Podcast. Do the things that we just said to do. Go do that. We're going to go out on another track of mine, DJ Innes. Follow me on SoundCloud if you want to check out my music. SoundCloud.com/DJ Innes. Martin, any final words?
I was about to say that I was probably coming up. I suppose I should, in in alignment with what I am doing when I'm not on the Gaming Cult podcast or living my life as this, in that sense. Say something in Japanese. So what should I say? What do you reckon?
Can you sing the theme to Dawson's Creek, but in Japanese?
No. I cannot, unfortunately.
Oh fuck! I totally forgot to talk about how I met Hip Tanaka.
Yeah, well, that was fucking awesome.
I met the fucking god. I just realized it's the end of the episode, and I forgot to mention that I met Hip Tanaka, the godfather of video game music. He created the NES sound chip, and fuck, I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, well, viewers, before we go to this song, just very quickly, I met Hip Tanaka.
That's a pretty huge fucking deal to forget about.
Jesus Christ, Martin.
Yeah.
Martin, you know who Hip Tanaka is, don't you?
Of course I do.
He created the sound chip for the NES and the Game Boy, and made the sound effects for Donkey Kong and the music. Him and Koji Kondo and a couple of others made all the most memorable NES music.
Yeah.
And he worked on Earthbound and
no, but he was definitely involved in Earthbound or Mother 2, depending on which one you prefer to say.
Metroid, Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus. Also Famicom Wars.
Donkey Kong 3, Wrecking Crew.
Super Mario Land.
Super Mario Land.
Yeah.
I
am pretty sure he also composed that that iconic tune that is being played in the first level in Super Mario Land.
Oh, absolutely! He did all of that music. I met Hip Tanaka, aka Chip Tanaka, as he goes by now, in Melbourne at Square Sounds Festival. That our friend Christy, along with Alex and Eugene from Genre Cult. It's a festival that they run. It's a chiptune festival that they do here in Melbourne and in Tokyo as well. He's the godfather of video game music, pretty much.
More or less, yeah.
And I got to meet him and take a photo with him, and I was wearing the Bird Boy Friends shirt. Were you even around when we did the Bird Boy Friends shirt? Do you know about the boyfriend?
No, I don't.
If you don't know about the Bird Boy Friends shirt, Martin and some viewers, it's a shirt that we did exclusively for a Yaoi convention that we had a booth at and did a panel at, which was our first ever panel, and it was a live playthrough of Heartful Boyfriend.
Of course it was.
And I was wearing that shirt, and Hip Tanaka in his Tanaka-san in his limited English and my limited Japanese, we were having a conversation, and he said he liked my shirt, and it was a GCP shirt, and this guy fucking worked. He worked with Miyamoto. It's and then I met him the next day as well. I mean, he played this amazing set of all of his new music, which is amazing, and some of his old themes, which he'd taken, redo, and he's a big fan of reggae music as well. He's always been in a reggae band since the 80s. My brain is racing trying to figure out how to even talk about this. I think it's the only time that I've ever been almost starstruck. I still had a conversation with him, but then, after we parted ways, my brain started ticking over into everything that this man has done and he's responsible for, and, I was having dinner with I can't even think right now. I was having dinner with Alex from Genre Cult and Go280 from Sweden, who's a chip artist from Sweden. Shouts out to Go280. We were having dinner, and then I just I almost had an anxiety attack. I freaked the fuck out because I just had a conversation with the guy that made the Nintendo sound chip. But then then it was amazing. It was the most amazing night. We're trying to end the episode here, I know, but I can't believe I forgot to talk about this, Martin. We met the next day as well. We were just hanging out at the Square Sounds after party. I was DJing and stuff, and we just talked about reggae and dub reggae records that we like. we were just having this conversation where I'd show him a reggae record that I liked on Wikipedia, and then he'd do the same. And I was just doing this, going back and forth, just having a casual chat with God, basically. Really nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm fangirling out just thinking about it right now.
For good reason. I'd probably be as starstruck as you were.
But
I'd imagine.
We just had a conversation. He's just a really cool dude. Shouts out to Naka-san.
Shout out. On a really funny side note, I know for a fact that he was also responsible for I think it was co-designing the Game Boy camera and the Game Boy printer.
Yep, he absolutely did. He made the sequencer in there, and you can see his face in there quite easily on the demo version, on the demo screen. That was episode 48 of the Gaming Cult podcast. It's over, Martin.
It's over.
This is it.
We haven't forgotten anything. What have you been playing lately?
I guess I've been playing video games.
Yeah.
Life is Strange. Go play that.
Sometimes.
I can't believe
you started video games.
I can't believe I forgot to talk about that. I met Hip Tanaka.
Yeah, that's.
That's how excited I am that you're back, Martin.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you next time, guys and girls. GamingCult.org. Go check us out.
戻ってきた、この野郎! I'm back, you fuckers.